This week, the driver of a stolen vehicle is fatally shot by police. Plus, a man is accused of raping a corpse aboard a subway train. And
now they're dressing like cops.
Robbers posing as NYPD officers hit a bodega. Right now, Fox 5's Crime in the City. Here are the crimes across the 5 boroughs. We begin in Times Square, where an early morning shooting left a food cart vendor injured. Police have arrested a Harlem man who is now facing charges, including attempted murder and assault.
Tonight, we're getting a first look at the man accused of pulling the trigger. Let's get right out to Fox 5's Linda Schmidt, who is live tonight in Times Square. Linda.
That's right, and that shooting happening after a brawl with a food vendor right here, right where we're standing, in the heart of Times Square. Now, the charges against the shooter include attempted murder and assault. Go ahead, take a look at this video here, because this was shot just a short time ago. Police identifying the suspect as 21-year-old Emmanuel Charles of Harlem. Now, as he was brought out of the Midtown North Precinct, he said his actions were self-defense. Police say it was a much different story. The NYPD says that he was with a large group of young people. That included some young girls. About 4:45 in the morning this morning in Times Square at 47th Street and 7th Avenue. Now, the group got into a brawl with a food cart vendor. This video was recorded by a witness, and we put a white circle around the vendor so that you can see who he is. He's wearing a red hat. The exact details are still not totally clear tonight, but they ended up in an argument. As the tussle, though, was breaking up, police say the shooter then suddenly just pulled out a gun, and he fired about 6 shots, hitting a food cart. Now, you can see the bullet hole in the side of the cart. And he also hit 29-year-old vendor Ayaman Gazale in the arm. Well, Fox 5 spoke with the witness who recorded this video.
Seems to be was that someone grabbed something from the vendor, and the vendor chased after them to grab it back. The one thing, that vendor did have a knife, so maybe he got in trouble for that. But the thing is, it was pretty much over at that point, and they were walking away, and then the kid just decided to start shooting in the direction of the vendor.
And once again, that vendor was shot in the arm. He is in stable condition, according to police tonight. In the meantime, police are in the process of still questioning as many as 3 other suspects. But tonight, the shooter, they say, a 21-year-old from Harlem, is now under arrest, charged with attempted murder.
We now head to East New York, Brooklyn, where a police chase involving a stolen vehicle ended in an officer-involved shooting that left a 28-year-old man dead.
Let's head out to Brooklyn. The NYPD shot and killed the driver of a stolen Porsche as police say he tried to run down an officer.
We're now learning the suspect may have been part of a larger crime ring. Let's get right to Good Day's Briella Tomasetti. She has the latest on this investigation from East New York, Brooklyn. Briella?
Shani and Dan, good morning to both of you. To backtrack for a moment, this all started at around 8 o'clock last night when members of the NYPD's community response team flagged down a suspicious car on the Belts Parkway. They then conducted a plate check, which revealed the car was stolen out of Pennsylvania. Police tried to pull over the 28-year-old driver who had a passenger in the car at the time this all happened on Cropsey Avenue in Canarsie. He got off the exit ramp, but then turned around and accelerated back onto the parkway, heading eastbound. Officers radioed over to the adjoining precinct, warning that the stolen white Porsche was heading in their direction. Authorities tried to intercept the car near exit 13, leading the driver to maneuver onto the service road at Seaview Avenue in East New York, where police had set up a roadblock. NYPD Chief of Department John Chell explaining what happened when the suspect tried to pass it.
At least one of these officers, the Porsche came into close proximity, nearly striking him. At this time, the officer discharged one bullet, striking the driver of this vehicle. The vehicle proceeded to go one more exit to Pennsylvania Avenue, where it struck another department vehicle.
Citizen app video shows ambulances and police cars at the scene. Officers apprehended the passenger, who was not harmed. First responders tried performing CPR on the driver before rushing him to Brookdale Hospital, where he later died. Shell would not identify the 28-year-old suspect, but mentioned that he was on federal probation for interstate transfer of stolen vehicles out of Pennsylvania.
It's really crazy because, you know, we have a lot of people living here, and it's a very good community. Tons of people living here. It's a very busy road. There's actually tons of construction happening there all the time, so I really wonder, like, how we even got so far.
Police confirming with us only one round was fired from that responding officer. No other people were hurt, and no weapons were recovered in that stolen vehicle.
Staying in Brooklyn, we head over to the neighborhood of Bedford-Stuyvesant, where 4 masked men clad in NYPD jackets and hats violently robbed a bodega.
It's the brazen bodega robbery caught on camera involving thieves impersonating NYPD officers.
Officials say that they flashed a gun and even tied a worker up at the shop in Bed-Stuy. Fox 5's Linda Schmidt is here with the very latest. Linda.
And you know, this video is wild. You are about to see it all. Now, the bodega workers, they were stunned when this happened. They had no idea what was going on. The suspects looked exactly like cops and then violently robbed the bodega. It was about 8 o'clock Sunday morning. Store surveillance video shows the bodega workers opening up for the day when 4 men in masks stormed the bodega with a gun, wearing NYPD jackets and hats, throwing this worker to the floor before dragging him to another area of the store. They also surprised and assaulted 2 other employees before grabbing cash and a garbage bag full of lottery tickets.
Enough is enough.
To say that Fernando Mateo is fed up is an understatement. He is the spokesman for the United Bodegas of America.
A guy gets stabbed and killed in a bodega a week ago. Another guy gets shot, killed in the bodega a week ago. Another guy tries to kill 2 clerks with a knife a week ago. This week we've had numerous incidents, but this one put the topping on the cake. This was the frosting on the cake. Now they're dressing like cops.
It happened at this bodega at Marcus Garvey Boulevard and Willoughby Avenue in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. Now there is yet another push to install panic buttons inside bodegas.
Governor Hochul, where's the $5 million you promised us for security?
Also alarming is just how easily accessible the NYPD gear is. It can be found online.
I just looked on eBay. There's one on sale right now.
Mike Alcazar is a retired NYPD detective.
Uniform equipment stores are not supposed to sell them unless they're NYPD or corrections. You know, they're supposed to abide by those rules. Who knows if they do?
The Bodega Association is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the fake cop suspects. And also tonight for you on this story, the NYPD's Internal Affairs Bureau is also investigating since the suspects were dressed like police officers.
Up in Long Island City, an off-duty NYPD officer was shot during an attempted robbery.
2 arrests were made after an off-duty police officer was shot in the leg during an attempted robbery in Queens.
Both suspects have extensive criminal records, which has led Mayor Eric Adams to question why they were on the streets in the first place. Good Day's Robert Moses is live in Astoria, Queens, with what the mayor is saying. Robert, what's going on?
Dan and Tashani, police tell me that 25-year-old cop was brought here to Mount Sinai, Queens. He is expected to recover after suffering that gunshot wound to his left leg. Cops say the officer was off duty yesterday around 6:30 in the morning when he was the victim of an attempted robbery near the intersection of 43rd Avenue and 21st Street. He apparently sped away from the would-be robbers. He drove a little more than a mile to 31st Road and 21st Street in Astoria, where you can see a bullet hole in the front windshield of his neon green BMW. Police tell me the 2 suspects fled in a Nissan sedan. They were taken into custody in Flushing. Police have identified those suspects to me as 26-year-old Marvin Dankwa of Brooklyn and 29-year-old Denzel Brown of Endicott, New York. They are each charged with second-degree attempted murder, robbery in the first degree, and criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth 4th degree. Sources tell me that Brown has been charged in the past with rape. Both, yes, have extensive rap sheets, much to the chagrin of Mayor Eric Adams, who spoke with us exclusively yesterday about the shooting.
The two individuals who were involved, they had an extensive, long record, arrested for almost 10 times. And it just really feeds into what we have been stating. Albany must fix the recidivism problem that we're seeing in the city. When you have individuals who are arrested, close to 10 times for extremely dangerous crimes, and they're now out committing a robbery that shot a police officer. This is a terrible message.
So far, the NYPD is not publicly identifying this 25-year-old off-duty officer who was shot. The Police Benevolent Association posted yesterday on X, quote, "Glad that our police officer will be okay."
Down in Lower Manhattan, a man has been charged with raping a corpse on a subway train.
Well, a man accused of engaging in a sexual act with a corpse aboard a subway train has been arrested.
That's right. Felix Rojas was taken into custody last night. The 44-year-old is accused of having sexual contact with an unresponsive man aboard an R train. This is in Lower Manhattan. It happened on April 9th. That man is believed to have died before the assault took place. The April 9th incident was recorded by a security camera.
And finally, we end at the Brooklyn Bridge City Hall subway station, where a subway rider was stabbed to death. Police have since made an arrest in this case.
Meredith Gorman joins us there with the very latest. Good evening.
Hello, guys. Yeah, the man who stabbed and killed a subway rider during rush hour this morning is still on the run. Police say they are still searching for the suspect. But take a look at this footage here of the crime scene earlier. Authorities say the suspect is a dark-complexioned male wearing all black with black Beats headphones on, in his 40s, and they say he has white patches on his face and hands. The 38-year-old stabbing victim was found unresponsive with multiple stab wounds to his torso on the southbound 456 platform inside the Brooklyn Bridge City Hall subway station. He was taken to Bellevue Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The victim's identity hasn't been released yet as they notify his family. But again, the suspect is still on the run after fleeing from the crime scene. And New Yorkers who ride the subway every day told me that incidents like this one make them feel unsafe commuting, even in the middle of the day.
It's not safer. I mean, the homeless people have taken over the subway, and the mental illness is just at an all-time high. So hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully this triggers a much larger response that's needed in subways.
Do you still feel nervous when you ride the subway?
Yes. You got people aggressively panhandling, and you got to latch on to everything, and you constantly looking around. It's not right. It's not right at all.
Again, police say this investigation remains ongoing, but the stabbing suspect is on the run.
That's this week's Crime in the City. Subscribe for more at youtube.com/Fox5NY.